The room smelled of antiseptic and cold metal. Anna's wrists trembled as she was laid onto the narrow hospital bed inside the American Field Hospital. Her left hand was wrapped in blood-soaked bandages, swollen to twice its size. Every movement sent a sharp wave of pain through her arm. She was a German POW, 24 years old, captured only 3 days earlier. Rumors had spread quickly among the women in the camp. "They cut off hands," someone whispered the night before. "If the wound is bad, they don't try to save it." Anna believed every word. Now she stared at the ceiling, breathing fast as boots echoed on the concrete floor. A tall American surgeon stepped into view. His uniform was stained from long hours of work. His face looked tired, but calm. He gently unwrapped the bandages. The moment Anna saw her hand, she gasped. Darkened skin, deep shrapnel wounds, infection creeping along the fingers. The surgeon spoke quietly to a nurse, pointing at the damage. Anna didn't understand English well, but she caught one word clearly. "Severe." Her heart pounded. "No, no, please," she whispered, then louder, her voice breaking. "Don't cut my hand, please, I need it." Tears streamed down her face as she tried to pull her arm away. The nurse held her gently but firmly. "I can work," Anna cried. "I can sew, clean, anything, just don't take it." The surgeon paused. Instead of ordering the amputation, he slowly leaned closer so she could see his face. He spoke carefully, slower this time, choosing words she might understand. "I will try," he said. "No cut, I promise. I try." Anna froze. "Try?" she whispered. He nodded. 5 hours, he added, raising his hand to show the number. "Very hard, but I try." The room went quiet. Anna squeezed her eyes shut, tears soaking into the pillow. 5 hours. Awake, afraid, unsure if she would wake up without her hand. As the first incision was prepared, she whispered one last desperate prayer, and the clock on the wall began to tick. The first drops of anesthetic slid into Anna's veins. Her vision blurred slightly, but she was still awake, just as the surgeon had warned. Her heart hammered in her chest as the overhead lamp flickered once, then steadied, casting harsh light over the small operating table. "Stay with me," the nurse said softly. Anna nodded, though her jaw trembled. The surgeon adjusted his gloves and leaned in. His movements were slow, precise, almost gentle. He did not rush, he did not raise his voice. He worked as if time itself had paused. Minutes passed, then an hour. Sweat formed beneath his cap. Another nurse wiped his forehead without him asking. The infection was worse than expected. Deep, stubborn, refusing to let go. Anna squeezed her eyes shut when she felt pressure, her breathing quickening. "Please," she whispered. "Is it gone?" "No," the surgeon replied calmly. "Still here." She cried quietly, turning her head to the side. Every sound in the room seemed louder. The clink of instruments, the ticking clock, her own uneven breathing. At one point, the surgeon stopped. The nurses froze. He stared at Anna's hand for a long moment, his expression unreadable. Anna felt her chest tighten. This is the moment, she thought. This is when he decides. Her voice cracked. "You promised." He looked up at her. "I did," he said firmly, "and I'm still trying." He changed tools, adjusted his approach, took even more time. Hour 3. The infection was finally retreating, but barely. Saving the hand now meant saving every tiny structure inside it. One mistake, one rushed move, and everything would be lost. Outside the tent, artillery thundered in the distance. Inside, time stretched thin. By the 4th hour, Anna was exhausted. Tears had dried on her cheeks. She no longer begged. She only watched him, silently, trusting a man she had been taught to fear. And he kept working, carefully, patiently, refusing to give up. As the clock edged closer to the 5th hour, the surgeon straightened his back slowly. The room held its breath. The 5th hour began without ceremony. No announcement, no relief. Only the slow movement of hands and the quiet determination in the surgeon's eyes. Anna's body felt heavy, as if the bed itself was pulling her down. Her thoughts drifted in and out, but every time she felt the slightest pressure in her arm, she snapped back into the room. The surgeon adjusted his position, careful not to strain his hands. His fingers were stiff now. Every motion required focus. "This is the hardest part," he said quietly, more to himself than to anyone else. The nurse beside him checked the clock again. Her eyes widened slightly, but she said nothing. Anna swallowed. Is it bad? He hesitated for just a second. It's delicate, he replied, but not lost. Those words were enough to keep her awake. The infection had been pushed back, but the damage underneath remained. Tendons weakened, small structures barely holding together. Saving the hand now meant rebuilding it, piece by piece. The surgeon slowed even more. Outside, the distant sounds of war faded, replaced by rain tapping softly against the canvas roof. The light above flickered as the generator strained. At one point, Anna let out a quiet sob. "I didn't think anyone would try this hard," she whispered. The surgeon did not look up. "Hands," he said calmly, "are worth time." Another nurse stepped in, replacing the one who had been there since the start. Fresh eyes, steady hands. Hour 6 approached. Fatigue weighed on everyone in the room, but no one suggested stopping. Not yet. The surgeon leaned back slightly, exhaling through his mask. He examined his work carefully, checking each movement, each response. "We're not finished," he said at last, "but we're closer." Anna closed her eyes again, holding on to that word. Closer. The surgeon stepped back slowly. For the first time in hours, his hands were still. The clock on the wall showed how much time had passed, but no one spoke. The nurses waited, watching his face, searching for any sign of the decision he had finally made. Anna opened her eyes. Her voice was barely more than a breath. "Is it over?" The surgeon removed his gloves carefully, as if even that mattered. He studied her hand one last time, then looked up. "Yes," he said quietly. "It's over." Her chest tightened. She couldn't bring herself to look down. "And my hand?" He paused, not because he didn't know the answer, but because he knew how much it meant. "You can keep it," he said. For a moment, Anna didn't understand the words. Then the nurse smiled. Just slightly. The meaning reached her all at once. Her breath broke into a quiet, shaking sob. She covered her face with her other hand, tears spilling freely, not from fear this time, but relief. "Thank you," she whispered again and again. "Thank you. Thank you." The surgeon sat down heavily on a nearby stool, exhaustion finally catching up to him. "It won't be easy," he added gently. "Recovery will take time. Therapy. Pain." Anna nodded through her tears. "I don't care," she said. "I still have it." Later, as the lamps were dimmed and the room grew quiet, Anna lay awake, staring at the canvas ceiling. She thought about the stories she had believed, the fear she had carried, the man she had expected to lose her hand. Instead, he had given her 5 hours of his life. Outside, the war continued. Inside that small hospital tent, something else had happened. Not victory, not defeat. Just one human being refusing to give up on another, and sometimes Anna would remember his words, not as a promise, but as a choice. Hands are worth time.